Hello everyone. My name is Pankaj Kaushik, and I am the organizer of this event. And thank you so much for joining this today's webinar. Today's topic is ROI in AI, which is return on investment in artificial intelligence. A- As we all know, this will be really interesting topic, and you already know that in today's world, AI is growing day by day a lot. And we are glad to have with us Mr. Ajit Upadhyay, who will be leading today's session. He has some great experience in this field, and also, so before starting the session, let me tell you all, you are feel free to ask question during the session to make it more interactive, and we will also have a Q&A at the end as usual. So further delay, I would like to hand it over to Ajit. Ajit, you can start and introduce yourself first and start the session.
Okay. Um, Thank you, everyone. Good morning and good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. My name is Ajit. I'm director for Azure and Data at Golden Flight Consulting. I bring in more than 18 years of experience, and I've worked extensively on various data science, data engineering, data warehousing, and database management related work. Um, we have a lot to cover, so let's dig into it and quickly talk about how can we bring in the return on investment that we make in an AI machine learning. So let's start by a question. How confident are you in your organization's AI readiness? That's the question we need to answer before we embark on a journey of AI. So, if you're like most executives, you probably feel pretty good about it. And why wouldn't you? According to Capital One's latest AI readiness survey, 87% of business leaders believe their data ecosystem is ready to build and deploy AI at scale. And that's where it gets interesting. There's a great disconnect, right? So here it is. While you're feeling confident about your AI readiness, your technical teams are telling a very different story. 84% of technical practitioners spend hours every single day just trying to fix the data. Hours daily. Let me put that in perspective. While executives are declaring victory, their technical teams are in trenches, fighting basic data battles that should have been won years ago. The disconnect isn't just a normal problem, it's an industry wide epidemic of self deception. BCG's research reveals a sobering reality. Only 26% of companies have the actual capabilities to move beyond proof of concept. Think about that. Three-quarter of organization, 74% struggle to achieve and scale value from AI. Meanwhile, the top performers, they have adopted 4 times more AI use cases and they are seeing 5 times of greater financial impact. The gap isn't just in capabilities, it's an outcome. Now, IBM's data drives this point further. Like 85% CEOs expect a positive ROI by 2027. That's next level optimism. But here's the reality check, right? Only 25% are currently meeting ROI expectation. And most tellingly, 50% report having disconnected technology within their organization. Half of the organizations are running on disconnected system while expecting AI to somehow magically deliver return on investment. Now let's talk about what this disconnect is actually costing us. So AI spending increased sixfold as to be like 2.3 billion to 13.8 billion in 2024. That's not just growth, that's a gold rush. But here's where the story gets painful. 52% of AI projects fail to reach production. That's more than half. We are literally throwing money at a problem while ignoring the fundamentals. The reason: data readiness, lack of technical maturity, and shortage of skill and data literacy. In other words, we are trying to build a skyscraper on a quicksand, isn't it? So now it's time for an honest conversation. And I know this is not what you would like to hear. The cost of inaction isn't just about missed opportunity. It's about further falling further behind while your competitors figure out what you're still pretending to understand. But here's the opportunity: the companies that close this gap, that bridge the disconnect between executive confidence and technical reality, will be the ones that are actually will actually capture AI's transformative potential. The question isn't whether AI will reshape your industry. The question is whether you'll be honest enough about where you really stand to be part of that transformation. So, how do we bridge that gap? How do we move from executive delusion to data readiness reality? The answer lies in understanding and mastering six critical pillars that separate AI aspiration from AI achievement. So, let's start with the foundation. Can you scale beyond pilot? This isn't about having servers and storage. It's about having the right compute, storage, data pipeline, and infrastructure designed for AI at scale. Your architecture and infrastructure needs to evolve beyond traditional data warehouse and data lakes to lake houses and medallion architecture. The right balance between federated and centralized system to avoid both chaos and bottleneck. Multi-cloud or hybrid capabilities for AI workloads, scalability, and lastly, meeting specialized AI/ML performance requirement. So that's the data architecture and infrastructure. I was actually falling behind on my presentation. So let's talk about pillar number two. The second pillar demands integration, architecture, and pattern automation, and a robust connectivity and access framework. But here's where most organizations fail. They're still trapped in old paradigm of separating operational and analytical system. The future belongs to operational analytics, where analytical insight integrate back into operational system in real time. Your integration architecture must manage both operational and analytical systems simultaneously, working at different velocities while preserving historical context. Additionally, unstructured data integration and applying integration and interoperability principles to metadata management itself are also critical. Your metadata needs the same level of integration sophistication as your data. Add to this the need for ecosystem integration with external patterns, uh, external partners. And you're looking at fundamental shift from centralized to distributed data management. Before we move to the next pillar, you have any questions? Okay. Um, so moving on, let's talk about the third pillar, right? Do you have guardrails for responsible AI? This goes beyond compliance to strategically align data governance with data strategy for business value creation. You need governance structure, operating models, tooling, and policy framework that enable value, not just manage risk. Right? The critical shift, domain driven accountability, data observability, risk management, ethical controls, and adaptive policy management. Now, why adaptive? Because AI is evolving faster than your policies can keep up. Your governance needs to be as agile as your technology. The fourth pillar is something that poses a question. Is your data actually fit for AI's purpose? This isn't just about clean data. It's about data quality, measurement, monitoring, profiling, and remediation capabilities. You need bias and fairness control, use case driven assessment for contextual fitness, automated continuous quality check, and clear accountability structure. Always remember, AI amplifies whatever you feed it. You know, garbage in, garbage out. Bad data doesn't just create bad insights, it creates systematically biased decision at machine speed, right? So the fifth pillar addresses the question, can your people navigate the AI data landscape, right? Culture, skill and literacy, leadership, and processes aren't just nice to have. They are make or break factors. You need domain level data expertise, development, executive buy-in for data-driven decision making, and change management capabilities for AI transformation. So here's the uncomfortable truth. If your executives aren't data literate, your AI initiatives will fail regardless of how sophisticated your technology is. Lastly, we have to address the important aspect of data security, privacy, and trust. Are you ready for AI's expanded attack surface and ethical challenges? Your security framework, identity and access management, monitoring capabilities, and response must evolve for AI. You need AI specific security control, privacy preserving AI capabilities, data protection framework, trust and explainability mechanism, and output security with content safety. AI doesn't just process your data, it learns from it, generates from it, and can expose it in ways you never anticipated. These six pillars aren't just technical requirement. They are the foundation for transforming from AI aspiration to AI achievement. The companies that master all six will capture the value. Those that doesn't will continue funding expensive proof of concepts that never see production. Now that we understand the six pillars, let's examine the journey itself, right? How will we transform from a hot technology and data mess and embark on an AI enabled journey, right? So, the path for data readiness delusion to AI enablement reality isn't just about technology, it's about navigating a fundamentally changed data landscape. So, before charting the path forward, we need to honestly assess where most organizations stand today. The current data architecture landscape is broken on both sides. On provider side, enterprise data warehouse promised unified views but became rigid bottlenecks that can't adapt to AI's diverse requirement. Data lake turn into swamps where data goes to die, not drive insights. Years of patches and workarounds create big ball of mud. That architecture is so complex that any change risk breaking everything. Central teams becomes overwhelmed bottleneck who can't scale with demand. The consumer side suffers equally. Data access lag means business opportunities pass before user gets needed data. Context gets stripped away as data moves through multiple transformation layers. Business team can't experiment, iterate, or respond quickly to changing requirement. Most critically, nobody owns data quality end to end, leading to finger pointing when AI model fails. This just isn't the technical debt. It's strategic paralysis. Your current architecture is actively preventing your AI success. So, successfully implementing AI requires mastering three critical components that most organizations underestimate. Defining the business problem serves as your compass. Without clearly articulating business requirements, AI project will become expensive science experiment. The business problem must guide every subsequent decision. Yet many organizations rush to algorithm without this foundation. Identifying appropriate algorithm and techniques requires considering scalability, interpretability, and computational efficiency. This groundwork determines your data pre-processing, feature engineering, and evaluation approaches. The wrong choice here cascades through your entire implementation. Managing data challenges encompasses three categories that can make or break your AI initiative. Data quality and availability issues doesn't just impede development, they create systematically flawed AI system. Ethical considerations around privacy, security, and regulatory compliance aren't optional features. They're prerequisite for sustainable AI that won't create legal or reputational disaster. Data governance standard provides the foundation for everything else. Without proper governance, you're building AI system on a quicksand. Data resilience and accountability framework are essential for responsible AI decision making. So, how do you navigate from where you are to where you need to be? So, the journey consists of four strategic phases that build systematically towards enterprise AI readiness. So phase one establishes your strategic data foundation and comprehensively assess AI readiness. Phase two implements pilot on critical data and domain while creating data improvement and remediation roadmap based on prioritized use cases. Phase three scales the ecosystem by extending standard and best practices across domain. And phase four achieves enterprise-wide transformation through democratized data capabilities. So the phase one uh, operates under the core philosophy of truth before transformation, strategy before system. You cannot build sustainable AI capabilities on shaky foundation. Reality based assessment means honest evaluation of your current architecture, limitations, and organizational readiness without sugarcoating failures. Most organizations skip this step because executives don't want to hear how unprepared they actually are. This is precisely why most AI initiatives fail. Business first alignment, secure stakeholder buy-in through outside in value demonstration before diving into technical architecture decision. So your technical team may understand the problem, but without the business alignment, you will never get the investment needed for real transformation. The strategic clarity before implementation defines clear AI ambitions, use case priorities, and success metrics before selecting topology patterns. Too many organizations choose technologies first and figure out the business case later. The foundation first approach builds governance, data readiness, and organizational capabilities. Now, these aren't afterthoughts, right? They are prerequisites for everything that follows. So, these are the steps you would typically go through within the first phase. Moving on, the phase two follows the philosophy of learn by doing with strategic intent. You start simple, but think big, beginning with limited scope while architecting for scale, right? Business values comes first by prioritizing use cases with highest pain points and ROI potential. Risk informed decisions use assessment driven approaches for scope and priorities. Incremental complexity adds capabilities progressively based on learning rather than assumption. Now, phase three, the philosophy shifts to scale the foundation, not the complexity. Right? Most organizations scale by adding complexity. Successful ones scale by standardizing simplicity. Source first scaling establishes stable data product delivery before expanding consumers. Value-driven expansion ensures every scaling steps add measurable business value. Trust prevention maintains business confidence through reliable, governed scaling. Progressive automation replaces manual processes with reusable templates and services. So the golden source management ensures data ownership, quality, and gap closure through domain level data ownership, data quality framework implementation, and data gap identification and remediation plans. Data marketplace management facilitates data product creation, sharing, and monetization via self-service data product platform. Turning data into a value powered autonomous intelligent data driven decisions through advanced analytic platform development, self-service business intelligence capabilities, AI ML model development support, and decision support system integration. So your scaling success depends on choosing the right domain topology for your organization's reality, not your aspiration. So as you scale, your architecture must evolve beyond basic implementation to advanced lakehouse pattern. Multi-pattern ingestion layers handle real-time streaming, change data capture, event-driven patterns, and legacy system integration. Metadata-driven processing framework would provide you a parameterized pipeline, dynamic schema evolution, and cross-domain lineage tracking. Data management offer virtualized data access, standards, serverless query services, and cross-domain data product access. Governance automation layer enforce policy as code and guardrails, enabling self-service with centralized control and trust-based operation. The final phase embodies democratized data capabilities and orchestrate enterprise-wide data excellence. So success means systematically moving from central control to distributed capabilities. Capability transfer systematically moves supporting activities from central team to autonomous domain teams. Self-service maximization eliminates manual processes through automation and intelligent tooling. Professional data product development establishes enterprise-grade standard for lifecycle management. Cultural transformation embeds data ops practices and data-driven decisions making across the organization. So the ultimate goal isn't just technical transformation, it's the organizational transformation where data excellence becomes embedded in how your company operates, not just how your technology runs. So the transformation that we have outlined isn't just about building better data system. It's about materializing revenue growth as data products become new revenue streams, delivering automated insights, driving operational efficiency gains, and risk mitigation through robust governance, preserving regulatory fines and reputational damage. Most importantly, it is about securing your competitive future in AI-driven world. With that, we've got two paths forward. Option A, lead with your data foundation. While others struggle with data, you deploy AI solution at enterprise scale, capturing first mover advantage and sustainable competitive differentiation. Or go with option B, choose and just chase AI trends without foundation. Join the organizations whose AI investment fails due to poor data quality, governance gaps, and architectural limitation. The data is unambiguous. The choice should be obvious. So, how can we make sure that we'll succeed? Organizational readiness requires executive sponsorship with clear accountability, cross functional collaboration, breaking down silos, and changing management investment for cultural transformation. Without executive commitment, technical excellence becomes irrelevant. Technical excellence demand modern data architecture from day one. Security and governance built in rather than bolted on. And AI ready data products as a foundational standard. Half measures create technical debt that compounds over time. Measurable outcomes through monthly value, delivery tracking, quarterly capabilities, maturity assessment, and annual competitive positioning analysis will ensure you're building capability, not just spending money. The organization that masters these enablers will define the next decade of business competition. Those that don't will spend the decade explaining to shareholder why their AI investment failed to deliver. So the question isn't whether to invest in data readiness, it's whether you will lead the transformation or follow it. So derive the statistics based on these white papers and books for you to review. With that, let's open the floor for question. Yes, Ankur, you have a
Yes,
question?
yeah, let me unmute him. Yes, Ankur, you unmute yourself and ask the question.
Thanks, Ajit. First of all, the very knowledgeable session. My question is regarding the cyber security.
Mhm.
So, how do you see the role of AI security evolving over next 3-5 years? Because uh, cyber security is the major concern nowadays. So, will
Mhm.
it be a separate discipline or embedded within the cyber security itself?
Well, AI initiatives cannot progress without the security built into the AI infrastructure, right? If we have to talk about um, a specific technology, for instance, you can use something like Microsoft Purview to help with your data classification, your auditing, and your lineage tracking for your data. Cybersecurity will not or will never be a sideline component in the world of AI. It it will evolve along with AI, and it will be an integral piece of your AI journey. So for most of the organization, it's very important to evolve their security practice as they move further in the AI first world. That makes sense. Okay, well, I hope so.
Ankur, you're
Thanks.
satisfied with the answer?
Yes, yes, yes. Fully.
We have
Thanks,
one
Ajit.
more question by Simran. ROI in AI seems highly industry specific. Which industries are seeing the fastest payback periods today?
Um, Well, it's I would say it's not industry specific, but the industry that's getting most advantage out of it has been the one that has the most disciplined um, data-driven practice within the organization. But e- to some extent, it typically aligns with retail and finance, where uh, organization is largely either um, uh, it's largely controlled, or there has been an oversight on the organization, or in retail specifically, where the available data velocity enables you to perform certain AI use cases which can be developed. Personalization in AI is uh, is one of the most explored field, or I must say a use case uh, that has both the ups and downs associated with it. Personalization can also get really scary, but at the same time, uh, with the responsible AI, that helps bring in lot of value on the table. So while it may seems that many organizations are uh, tied to a specific industry benefit from AI, but the as I walked you through some of the initial slides, there's still a long way to go. Like, imagine almost three-fourth of these projects fail to go beyond the proof of concept. So there is still a lot of room to improve. And yes, if you master these six pillars and move towards the data-driven organization, it will become easier to extract value from your investment. Hope that helps answer your question.
Yes, we have one more question from Jose. Jose, you
Mhm.
are unmute from my side. You can ask the question.
Oh, thank you, thank you. So one of my questions that I have, what are like the common mistakes companies make, right, when calculating the AI initiatives and the investments as well?
Yeah, so as you would have noticed from my initial slides, the major challenge is getting the stakeholder buy-ins. Now, it's very easy for these executives to just come up and say that, hey, we are AI ready. We're gonna go ahead and uh, pick up AI use cases and start the transformation and lead our organizations towards an AI first organization. The biggest mistake is driving their AI initiatives using the technology, right? Give you a very simple example. Uh, I want to use Copilot Studio to create a chatbot. Well, it's a very simple use case and sort of makes sense if you look at it from an IT perspective. Hey, yeah, Copilot Studio is the best product that I can use to develop a chatbot in a most cost-effective way. Interestingly, you've given a very little thought on what the functionality of the chatbot should look like. So it's not just about the technology. It's not just about leading your organization to be an AI first. It's about defining your objectives, getting a stakeholder buy-in, finding the successful criteria, and getting ready in terms of data. The most important piece in all of this, what I typically like to call as AI madness, is to bring some rhythm in it. And these rhythms can be brought on by following couple of things, like be data ready. Technology comes later. Define your use case, define what your success criteria looks like, and induce security and compliance as part of your project, including data governance. That's what is going to lead um, your organization to a successful AI transformation. So, to circle back, the most executive decisions that were made is mostly revolves around either technology or the very little investment or the skill set and the gap between the data and the executive decision to move ahead with. If we can overcome all these, you can definitely have a successful. I mean, there are various use cases where there are various successful AI implementation, which is driving the investment. Like one of my slide that show 5 times the return on investment. That's what AI can drive. So there is potential, but how you drive it makes all the difference. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, thank you, Ajit. And I think like part of the also, sentiment and feedback is we need to go beyond, right? We need to be always on top in our business. So this is a great recommendation. Thank you. Because at the end we need to lose this fear for technology, use it, you know, with us for the business, right? Not it's not just, it's a challenge, right? It's not a challenge. So it's an opportunity to grow our business. Thank you, Ajit.
True, true. Yes. Just to add on to that, always look at technology as enabler. Technology is enabler. It's going to solve your potential roadblocks, but you need to define and articulate what those roadblocks are. That's how we can make progress. Perfect. Any other question?
Any other question, guys? Event is about to end.
I had one.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. It's a good session. I want to know how do you see the AI adoption in the industry, and is there going towards the rejection right now?
Not right now, but if we continue to similar path, uh, pretty soon there will be challenges that will impede the progress. Right now, there are a lot of research that's uh, still pending to harness the full capability of AI. Just to put things in perspective, when we talk about large language model, we often use things like tokens. So, what are these tokens? These tokens are basically the data that you pass on to the language models to get some insight, to get some information around. These tokens possess some limitation. There is for the to- so for the most part, there are different limitations around, and one of the main reason I was just talking to one of the customer sometimes back, and uh, we had a similar question like, are will AI take over the world? What's the progress being made? Are we progressing further, or will there be a dip? Well, right now, um, interestingly, the hardware limitation still exists. The computational capabilities still is broadly affecting the AI to move at much further scale. So I'm not sure how many would have recently looked through. There are huge enhancement being made in quantum computing, and one of the drivers is to be able to harness the full potential of AI. We need better computational skills, and that is where um, we are heading to. So quantum computing is what's going to enable AI to move to a very next stage. And investment in AI will continue at least for another couple of years, if not a decade, and improvements will continue. There are certain technological roadblocks that is being flushed out, and a lot more progress still needs to be made. So to circle back, uh, nobody knows the future, but at least for another couple of years, AI will continue to drive the market. I hope that answers your question.
Yep. Thank you. Good day.
Okay.
If anyone has still question, you can ask.
Okay. Perfect. Well, thank you so much for being part of this webinar. We can help you to take that informed journey towards your AI first organization. Feel free to reach out to us with the contact information shared on the screen. So again, thank you so much for joining us. You have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys, for joining the session. Have a good day.